make this sort of thing. I stand today on Hollywood Boulevard working in this business 25 years because of moments exactly like that. And I stand here today never having tried to take over a city or drop a bomb on it because of the lessons that I learned at the hem of the cape of Robin himself, Burt Ward. And then years later, I was lucky enough to get into this business, and because of that, met people who knew people, and one day I actually got to sit down and talk to Burt Ward, who did a podcast. And in this business, in the world, they tell you never meet your heroes, they'll never live up to it. I sat down with Burt and he told me not only did I see he was a wonderfully sweet fucking guy. Sorry. Wonderfully sweet guy. Sorry about that. My modifiers are different. I don't say holy. But I also found out as he told me this long conversation, which stemmed off of I said something about my dog. He started talking about his dog. And once he told me, he's like, oh, I have a dog that's 25 years old. I was just like, how is that possible, man? And then I was like, of course it's possible. Robin did it. So I love this man since I was a kid. He was my way into the world of superheroes. He taught me to be good. He was my way into the world of Hollywood. He taught me that there were people that actually do this sort of thing, and you could be that person. He taught me that every teenage boy looks like he's 30 years old, man. So it gave me something to aspire to. And when I got the call about coming out here today, I was back east last night in Florida with my mother, and I was interviewing Bobby Orr. So my schedule, I was supposed to be back there, but they're like, on this day, if you're going to be here, you can come out and speak on behalf of Burt. I literally changed my schedule. I'm not saying this for credit, but just to tell you how important it was, I changed my schedule because life comes down to certain moments, and Robin was always there for everyone I ever watched in that show, and the day that Robin needed me, I am here for Robin. Give it up for Burt Ward!
And now before we hear from our honoree, I'd like to welcome to the stage a friend of the Walk of Fame, our Los Angeles City Council member, Mitch O'Farrell.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Rana. It is such a pleasure to be here to be part of this incredible ceremony honoring this amazing human being, Burt Ward. Yes. Yeah. I want to thank the Hollywood Chamber of Commerce for providing this space for fans across the world to come and enjoy their favorite stars. So thank you, Hollywood Chamber of Commerce, for making all of this possible, for all of these wonderful fans gathered here today and beyond. Burt Ward, you have been part of our lives since gracing the small screen as one of the most iconic characters of the generation of the 1960s, inspiring little boys like me who donned a red cape when I was about 5 years old when the show was on TV, and I only saw it in black and white because that's all we had. But you did inspire everyone from a very young age to do good things in the world. So I have to believe that part of what inspires me to this day is what I learned as a young child from watching Batman and Robin. And beyond that, let me just say that your transition from Caped Crusader to Canine Crusader is what made you my superhero. You and Tracy, with your nonprofit Gentle Giants. Here are some quotes about animals that I love to be reminded of, and I think this speaks to what you and Tracy do. Love the animals. God has given them the rudiments of thought and joy untroubled. That's Dostoevsky. Here's another one. Until one has loved an animal, a part of one's soul remains unawakened.
Oh yeah!
Woo! And you and Tracy with Gentle Giants and all that you do, and is there anything greater that one can do with one's fame that benefit the completely defenseless, like you and Tracy have done all of these years. So in that respect, because of your accomplishments as an actor, but equally your accomplishments as a philanthropist and an animal welfare activist and advocate, you inspire all of us. And so on behalf of the Los Angeles City Council, I congratulate you, and it is an honor to stand aside you on this incredible historic day for you. Burt Ward, congratulations.
Yeah. Burt! Burt! Woo! Yay! Burt! Congratulations!
Thank you so much, Mitch. And now, on behalf of the Hollywood Chamber of Commerce, we now declare today Burt Ward Day in Hollywood. And it's now the time you've all been waiting for. It's time to hear from our superhero today. Ladies and gentlemen, may I present to you Burt Ward.
Robin!
First of all, I'd like to thank everybody involved, the Hollywood Chamber, and all the people that I've met there. Very nice. I want to thank my publicist, Roger Neal. He gave me a discount on the next month's bill if I mentioned his name. And I want to thank all of you. You know, I watched some of the stars that come up here and speak, and I thought I wanted to do a little something different. I wanted to not only thank you, but I wanted to tell you something that that has motivated me and which I believe has made me successful in life. When I was a little boy, I remember I grew up in this town. I remember walking in front of the Grauman's Chinese Theater and putting my hands there where the hands of some of the great actors and actresses of time, and their shoes and stuff were there. And I grew up in a family where I was actually kind of shy. I didn't do a lot of socialization, but I did a lot of daydreaming. Excuse me. When I was 3 years old, I wanted to be Superboy. Now, where I lived, there wasn't Batman comic books, or at least I didn't know about it, but there were Superman and Superboy. So what I want to tell you is that thoughts can be things. And if you think hard enough and you really put effort behind it, you can make your world whatever you want it to be. So I remember seeing photos of myself on a tricycle with a bath towel around my neck held together with a clothespin. And I just thought about that all the time. And as I grew up, I stopped riding the tricycle, but I would come home from high school and I would spend hours just by myself, kicking a ball against the wall, but daydreaming about all the fantastic things that superheroes can do. And you know, when I got the opportunity to play Robin, people said, well, gee, you know, you haven't done anything else. I mean, this has got to be so different for you to come out and do this, when in reality, I spent hours and days and weeks and months fighting villains in my mind. I love the fight scenes on Batman. I also was very fortunate that my parents got me started in karate in 1959 before it became popular. I was also fortunate that one of my neighbors was Bruce Lee. And Bruce and I actually sparred together. We were friends. We would go down into Chinatown. And I remember when Brandon was 6 months old, and we'd order all the authentic Chinese food because he had lived in Hong Kong for 10 years. But piece of trivia, I don't know if you know this, Bruce Lee's first filmed fight scene of his amazing cinematic career was fighting me on Batman. And a really nice man, and I miss him terribly. I also miss my partner Adam terribly. I want to tell you that, you know, I'm not part of the quote Hollywood scene and that I go to all the parties and stuff like that, but I know one thing. I met Adam 15 minutes before our screen test in 1965 in September. Within 5 minutes, the two of us were laughing, and we never stopped laughing for more than 50 years. I have the greatest respect and love for Adam, and you know, I think something was really fortunate when we made our series. There were so many problems with getting these effects to work. We had a double-sized crew, they couldn't get all the stuff to work, and while they were spending all their time doing that, Adam and I were recording and filming our scenes without restraint. In other words, they would say, okay, well, you're going to be in the Batmobile, you're be in the Bat cave or whatever, but they didn't tell us, oh, do this here, do that there, say this, do that. No, they left us alone. And Adam and I believe, had an amazing chemistry. You know, great comic teams have always had diversity, opposites, Abbott and Costello, you know, Laurel and Hardy. So many have had tremendous opposites. And Adam, people ask me, well, he's so stoic, he's so rigid. Is that really the way he is? Yes, that's the way he is. And me, I never grew up. I still haven't grown up. So the two of us had the best time. We would sometimes, even after 14-hour days on weekends, go out and play tennis together. I loved Adam. I miss him terribly. He was a great, wonderful human being with amazing comedic sense. And I think that the interplay that we had, the chemistry we had, plus being allowed to do things like jump over the door, getting in and out of the Batmobile, or in my case also, walking, instead of getting out of the Batmobile, climbing up on the door and walking back on the fins of the Batmobile. I don't know if you remember that from some of the shows. Well, let me tell you something. What I didn't know was that George Barris, the creator of the Batmobile, and his assistants were having near heart attacks because I was messing up their paint job. I didn't know that. I only did what I thought was right for the scene. But my main message today is to tell you that I think all of us can be everything we want to be. I learned a great lesson from my beautiful wife, Tracy, married for 30 years. Stand up, honey. Let people see you. Now, this is Robin's girl. You know what I learned from my wife? I learned that you can be better than you think you are at many different things. So many of us are told if we're artists, we can only be an artist. Or if we're business people, we can only be in business. But guess what? You can be everything. And for this little boy that grew up in this town, that daydreamed every single day when other kids were out playing with friends and I was by myself, and all I ever wanted to be was a superhero. I got it, okay? And I don't think it was an accident. So I want to wish all of you a wonderful 2020, and I hope all of your dreams come true. But I can tell you, think about it, dream about it, plan on it. Don't limit yourself. Be all that you can be. To the Batmobile, citizens!
It's now time for us to unveil the stars. So please join us by celebrating and cheering. And let's hear it one more time for now Walk of Famer Burt Ward.
Oh man, it really is.
my chair anyway. Hey, up front, can you move a little? Hey, up front, can you move a little? We'll get a shot, man. Hey, up front, can you sit down? Up front, can you sit down? I'm trying to get a shot, man. Thank you.
I'm right behind you, so I'm right behind you.
I got you.
Just letting you know.
I told the fans could stand here, and that guy just steps in the fucking way.
Sorry.
He's a bad man.
Robin! Robin!
Yeah. Just say, all right, Burt, Ward, Robin. Yeah. I'm on vacation. You get to be here all the time. Burt, Ward, Robin. There he is. Hey, Burt. One more in the corner. Yes. Burt. Yeah. Hey, Burt, Ward, Robin. A couple times. I have one. Yeah. What, Tracy? I think my phone icon. Like for people my age, he's an icon. At least I got some. I would not feed my cat And there's a pen in there. If I could just get it. Not right now. Oh, Tracy. She's up there. Just have her ready.
their daughter?
Daughters.
Yeah, daughters. Wife, that's right. And daughter.
No, my mom's from Canada. Yeah, and then my aunt is from Sasha. Yeah, Sasha. I was born in California. So she's the one taking care of the dogs right now. Oh, so if you look on the bottom, my dog is Sugar 28. That's mine.
Oh, wow.
And the one that's on my thing, she had a lot of problems with, she just passed away. And then I had a 23-year-old.